Okay, so we're back at the gym. Why is this hella long? Oh, I don't have stabilization on. Gym looks pretty empty, so that's good. So Dev's here, and we are running a leg day. It's gonna be an intense fucking leg day. So I know the last one was a leg day too, like the full day of eating, but that was more of like a voiceover. And see, I knew it. It's definitely cold in here, and I'll tell you why. But we're running a intense leg day with Dev. And I think the video is going to start in here because I kind of want to structure the video with like a couple important tips in terms of like I'll give some feedback and then I'll have Dev get some feedback in terms of like what are her jack of the trades in terms of like my muscle connection or like what she does and stuff like that. Because if you guys didn't know, Dev also competes and I think is competing. Maybe speaking out of character when I say that, but I believe she is still competing. So yeah, so we're going to warm up now. She's getting her stuff situated. But it's going to be intense. So kick back, smash that subscribe button because there's a lot of exciting stuff coming. Make sure to leave a thumbs up and let's kick the video off. All right, so we're already starting the bullshit. So what Dev is doing it as I'm speaking, but on the good girl, bad girl. So we're doing 2 sets total. Ascension set is, the first set is an ascension set. So we're starting at 100 pounds going all the way up to 160. We are doing sets of 6, just regular reps. Again, heavy in relativeness. This is literally the first workout of the day. So heavy in relativeness to mobility and just getting warm and getting blood to the muscles. And then as soon as we get to 160, it's a drop set. So from 160, we slow it down. So we do a squeeze at the top of the movement and a second down. So we slow it down a little bit, and then we ramp back down to 100. And then we're gonna do a feeder set on hamstring curls, leg extensions, and then we actually start the workout. So Dev is now starting the slower set. So this is the second set, so she started at 160. She's working her way back down. You saw in the previous clip, she's squeezing at the top, lowering it at the bottom, just a little lower on the tempo. Again, I can't stress this enough. This is the first movement, so don't go crazy heavy. Can we push more? Probably the whole stack when we're warm. Yeah, absolutely, but this is literally the first workout. The reason why we do this, from a guy perspective, our fucking mobility is ass. And if I'm telling you our mobility is ass and mine is good, you guys definitely need to work on it. And this will just make the leg day tremendously better. Connection will be a lot better. But just please, 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 if we're doing this for the first time, I can't stress it enough, because you will be broken. Like in terms of soreness, this will hurt the following day for both abductors and adductors. It's from a guy's perspective, if we're lacking mobility, take it with a grain of salt. And now we're gonna push the next movement.
Where is it? I don't know where the heartbeat is. Oh, there it is. That's inaccurate.
We love, that's not a Whoop, is it? No, it's an Apple Watch. We love Apple Watches. We are fucking sweating.
Have you ever wondered to yourself, oh, I want to work out with him? Just don't.
It's it's an intense one. We're doing 2 sets of 15 here. We did 1 set already, if you can't tell from the breathing, but
Forget how to count when you work out with me.
so important. Some key things here. Reason why, there's a method to my madness. So when it comes to the good girl, bad girl, and the feeders of the hamstring curls and leg extension is because if you go flat or dry, cold into Bulgarians, you will not stand a chance.
You don't stand a chance when you warm up.
So the technical side of the movement and to execute it properly, in my opinion, get a warm body. Like me and Dev were already sweating way long. Well, mind you, it's like 80 degrees right now in the Northeast, so that's awesome. We take it where we can get it. Dev is gonna have a stroke behind the camera, so but super important to make sure there's blood everywhere. Glutes, hammies, make sure you're getting proper knee flexion, blood to the quads, to ensure that you're executing these properly, because these will wreck you extremely fucking fast. Both with and without the warm-up. And then we're moving on. So only 2 sets here, but trust me, if you do them properly, 2 sets is enough, and 15 is a lot of volume.
I bet you'll never guess.
Fuck. What song is it? There's no way. Let me see what you're listening to.
If you're not listening to Whitney Houston when you're lifting, you're done.
That's unbelievable. Honestly, I can't be mad. I'd be listening to Bruno Mars, so. Bruno Mars is a vibe. What? No, there's no way. All right, we're doing 2. We did our first set, 2 constant tension sets of 20. And she's fucking vibing. 2 constant sets of 20 here, so I'll explain it while she's doing it. So we don't want to stop. Full lockout at the top. We don't want to stop at the bottom, but she's controlling it. There's no bounce. It looks fast. It is fast, but Dev is mature in the aspect of like making sure she's controlling the weight and stuff like that. But for this specific orientation of the movement, we don't want to stop at the bottom. I'm sorry, we don't want full lockout at the top, and we don't want to bounce out of the bottom. So yes, we're continuously doing the rep, but taking precedence and making the movement harder on ourselves, kind of eliminating and controlling, so removing all the variables from the actual movement and not bouncing out of the bottom. So quite literally, the definition of constant tension is keeping the pressure along either the quads or the glutes. Dev's doing them a little high and wide. I'm doing them a little closer, but this is all in perspective. I asked her what width and stance she wants to use. That's totally up to you. I personally want just a little more on quads just because we started with Bulgarians. So I'll leave it up to you guys.
Yeah, well, when your femurs are this long, this doesn't allow for much movement, you know?
Dev swears she's disproportionate.
No, I'm perfect.
There's that. That's so incorrect. I wish I recorded the beginning of the fucking workout. You know what would suck on these? You know that thing we did last time, the FST7?
No.
These suck here.
Yeah, no.
If we don't do Bulgarians, that's my other leg to start here.
Why?
Yeah. Not okay. I can't get off.
Good.
Like,
stay there so we don't have to die anymore. I mean, it makes sense why his legs look the way that they do. But I'm reconsidering if I want my legs to look like that, considering what he just told me.
I actually want to throw up.
I don't care what you want.
It's pretty intense. This is the stance. This is the stance right here.
That's gross. Good night. Whatever you want from me.
All right, that's how we get canceled. Next movement, leg extensions. So 3, what did I say, 3 or 4? I think that's 3. 4 sets of, and if you work with me, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's 6, 6, 6. So 6 individual, so 6 on the left, 6 on the right, and then 6 double. Dev's gonna kill herself on this set, or just in general, but little lighter on each individual quad. She's trying to figure out the weight right now, because it is a lot of volume. It's not a lot within the sets, but it's a lot over a total oversight of the movement. So it's 4 total sets. Lighter weight on the singles, heavier on the doubles. Not really much of a rest period. I mean, honestly, what, like 5-10 seconds per. And then we bump it up. We're doing that 4 times. And then we move to leg extensions. I'm sorry, hamstring curls. My brain's not fucking working. So 6 felt light. I just asked Dev how it felt. 6 felt light, so we're gonna bump it up to 8. So same exact concept.
And heavier.
Yeah. So so key kind of phrase or terminology on this movement is set to 8 here. We're moving it up. Dev wants to go heavier, and I want to go higher repetition. So we have a lot of blood and a lot of stimulus and a lot of caffeine. Dev's on more caffeine than me, but I'm also not on food. So I tend not to take too much caffeine because I don't prepare me for the day. And I'm still on an extreme fucking cut. So I'm taking it where I can get it, but 888, key term, or just like tip here, if you guys want to call it, is make sure you are pulling yourself into the pad. So what we forget a lot of the times with machines is because they're so assisted and modified and like, hey, this is the transition and the execution of the movement, we tend to lack stability. So yes, it does assist us, and yes, it does help us, but you can still break down a movement. Now, does it help? Is it easier than a dumbbell, barbell, or anything free weight? Yes, absolutely. But kind of giving yourself the best advantage in terms of, because the machines already execute efficiently in terms of like, if it's a quad, if it's a hamstring movement, it's already hitting that. So take a lot more variables out of the equation, get yourself that much more tighter, and put that much more of an emphasis on the desired muscle that you're working out. I just explained the entire fucking set and I wasn't recording, but this is going to be our last like movement-ish of the day. We're doing an FST7 on the seated hamstring curl, which Dev does not want to do. I took her through it the first time in the first video with rear delts. So this is the finisher. So for most of you who don't know, FST7 was originated by Hani over in Texas, I believe, and Chris had used it a lot of the times throughout his Olympia. So total overall concept, if you want to look it up and gauge your like education and knowledge on it, but from what I perceived and grabbed through it, is there's no real definition of it because Hani kind of gatekeeps it, which is fine. That's his tradition of it. But from what I understood, it's 7 sets. So it's one total set, but it's 7 sets with 30-second intervals of 12 to 15. So Dev is going to do a set of 12 to 15, stay on the pad or stay in position wherever it is, wait 30 to 45 seconds, do another set of 7, rinse, repeat. Where this gets hard and difficult is time under tension, rest intervals, and the concept of at least the first 4 sets of the movement, trying to maintain the same weight. You can drop the weight, but I'm really going to push you guys to fight it because it is one total set of 7 sets. And really push it. Again, don't go crazy and like get injured, but kind of make it hard on yourself. Again, it's time under tension, so it's a lot of it is mentally connecting, and you're spamming it. You're literally spamming whatever movement you're doing on. In this case, it just so happens to be the hamstring curl. And then same concept here, keeping a lot of pressure on it, keeping a lot. So if you're not able to mentally connect to it, I remember even Dev was saying the last workout, well, I didn't record, it wasn't a raw workout, but what we had spoke about off camera is she was saying she has a hard time feeling her delts. So hard time feeling enter muscle group here. So whatever you're having a hard time feeling, strip the weight, do a concept like this where you're just spamming it either sets of 15 or 20. Super lightweight, lock down on the form, don't go crazy. And before you know it, I guarantee you, I will literally give you money back if you don't feel whatever it is you're actually doing. So making sure you're locked in position. At that time, it was the rear delts. A lot of time for me, it was hamstrings. But just spamming the movements, making sure you're like, hey, I'm doing this movement. I'm supposed to be feeling it this way, X, Y, Z, and then just flooding it. So Dev's finishing her set now. I'll record my set. And then if we're up for it after. So the reason why I said this is our last movement, we're going to go spam bodyweight lunges to failure. But again, if, because this is a very hard finisher and we're already pre-fatigued. I'm fried. And then we'll get closing statements and thoughts from Dev after, because she's locked in right now. But I also do want to talk, me and Dev were talking between leg extensions and hamstring curls about just bodybuilding as a whole. I'm going to get Dev on a podcast, possibly with either Greg or Andy, and in terms of like, because we are different areas. So Dev being a female and competing, myself being a male and competing. So because we're just quite literally male and female, different perspectives, pressure, what it takes, X, Y, Z. And we were talking about the idea of people having this ideology of like the lifestyle of bodybuilding and like wanting to perceive it a certain way versus what it's actually like. And for people who compete, the risks you have to take, the pressure you feel, how selfish it is. But that's going to be, again, I don't want to rant in this video, but it's going to be a topic for another day. And the podcast is always linked in the bio. So I'll probably get Dev on it in a week or so. Write down some topics that we want to talk about, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, we just finished our infamous FST7 curls. I feel great. So the thing is, when you're doing them, right, it's like, oh my God, it's like fucking impossible. But then like when I was resting watching Dev versus like when Dev was resting watching me, it's like you learn that doing the one big fucking cluster set is really not as bad. It's bad while you're doing it, but then like the rest interval while you're waiting for your partner to go, if they are going, is super good. And this has been a super efficient workout. I'm gonna finish off with lunges. I'm not sure what Dev is gonna do. You doing lunges? Yeah, Dev's doing lunges too. We're doing two sets to failure, which is I'm gauging anywhere from 15 to 30 steps per leg. And again, we're going form failure. We're not trying to run through a wall here. This is more of an active recovery, cool down, finisher movement type of shit. And that's gonna wrap it for the leg day. We're gonna do this set. I'm gonna let Dev give her finishing thoughts on the overall workout in and of itself, and we'll wrap this video up.
Hi. He's not holding a gun to my head at all and making me say this. No, I like the FST7. I think that like it's since I did it with delts with him, and then I had chest right after or the next day, I did it as my finisher, and I think that it is like a pretty solid finisher, especially like when you're going so hard the whole time and then you kind of just feel exhausted after. That is like one way to bring that pump back, to bring that energy back and really truly like exhaust yourself for the end of your workout, and just really walk out with like, ew. Walk out with like, you know, like feeling really accomplished after your workout. But yeah, overall, good workout. He told me it was gonna be hard. I didn't think it was that hard.
That's crazy. I need your input in 48 hours.
No. I meant, yeah, but okay, so like after every leg day, you should be shit. But like, I don't know, I just feel like mine is like a lot more intense. Yeah. But yeah, everything's hypertrophy though. Everything's at least 15 reps, at least 4 sets, you know, so it's like if we did your workout with my rep ranges, I think.
So like if we did my workout with like your. Yeah,
with my rep ranges, yeah, like I think that like it would be a lot more intense, but that's because I think I'm like more focused on the conditioning side of things right now than like any sort of strength building. But that's just because I have powerlifting in my background, so my size is, I think, bigger than average. Yeah, like I have a lot of size already, so I don't really care about muscle building at the moment. I'm more concerned with like conditioning at the moment. So, but no, it's a good workout.
It was good. Like I said, there was a lot of Yeah, a lot of give and take. So you weren't, obviously, we were fucking around, but nobody's a fan of Bulgarians. I do them, and I'm not even a fan of Bulgarians.
Yeah.
Even in the slightest, but they are.
That
wow.
TikTok, that girl's like, whatever Bulgarian bitch decided to split her squat, go fuck yourself. Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it because like I have a lot of hip issues right now. One hip externally sucks, and then the other hip internally sucks. So I'm like in physical therapy for my hips at the moment, and then one of my hamstrings, like my hamstring glute tie-in area, just trash. So yeah, like for me,
Going to work out damage.
yeah, like I saw a girl the other day do her Bulgarians like with her like the back foot just on a plate, so she does have like that height difference, but it's not as intense as putting your foot on a bench, and I like kind of like that. Yeah, and it's just like that, or like you can just put a bar pad on a Smith machine and set it up like that, and so like it's just not as intense as putting it on a what's it called, on a bench. Well, yeah, because you have like that height.
The support too of like the
Yeah, and then also like it rolls with you, so you're not like just
so fixated.
yeah, like where your back foot's just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like that. Just allows some variation, especially if like you're not that strong in Bulgarians. Like it allows you to have the flexibility and whatnot. So, but yeah, overall, good deal.
Yeah, so I think I just ripped my shirt, but that's gonna end this video here. There's because this is, I guarantee you, a long video, which is fine. This is literally just gonna be a how-to tips, like leg day, you know, like that concept of like growing fucking monstrous legs, because we're both respectfully lower body heavy versus top body when it comes to.
Speak for yourself.
That's crazy.
That's great. Look at things.
Nah, Dev has a great all-around physique, but I'm definitely compensated on the lower part of my body just being a lot more structured, just because of my athletic background and the just because of athleticism, playing soccer growing up. So like I'm overly developed in my legs, and I have that much more of a connection. And I think in general, though, I think guys have to work a tad harder for upper body. So that's why like I'm kind of subjective in that fashion.
I mean, I danced and swam growing up, so that was my background. That's why these legs are monstrous. And then I bodybuild, and then I powerlift in my off season, so you can just be more balanced like me.
So Devin is the Wonder Woman of the.
I am perfect.
Devin is the Wonder Woman of the bodybuilding world. But overall, good energy. Give this leg routine a try. It's worked for me. It's worked for Dev. Again, Dev has a different style of training just because of the path that she's currently on.
Yeah,
in terms of like hypertrophy and conditioning, where I am in a strength phase, so a little bit lower numbers, heavier weight, lower sets. So I'm trying to use the thickness as much as I can, but I'm sure when I start my cut and stuff like that, I'll have Dev come back around and we do a more hypertrophy style workout, because I'll need to be
Leaner.
Yeah, shedding and shredding. So shedding and shredding.
Ew.
Like chicken.
Ew.
Oh my God. That's going to wrap the workout. Dev's Instagram and stuff like that is in the bio. I will also include anything else she wants me to include, but be sure to follow her and her journey into bodybuilding fuckery.
I mostly just talk shit on the internet.
We're as toxic as they come.
Yeah. To ourselves, though, not to other people. That's not nice.
But like, it's so good, it transcends beyond us, and we end up fucking up other people.
I'm just arrogant.
Same.
I think that I'm the best person on the planet. And you can't tell me I'm not.
And then there's me saying she's not.
His opinion doesn't matter.
We'll catch you guys in the next one.
So here's the update. Everything I said in that video about that workout was a lie, because I can't put my socks on. I can barely get in my car, and I definitely don't know how I'm going to get up the stairs to go into my apartment when I get home. Try that workout at your own discretion. And if you have nothing to do for the next 2 days, because also my 36-hour DOMs kicked in that night. Yesterday, forget about it. Today, even worse, like I predicted. Don't do that workout. Just don't. If you have a life, don't do it.